Hello everyone, I am Left, and welcome to the second installment in my new series, Vainglory in Depth. I ran a poll on Twitter to see which hero we would cover next, and it came up with Blackfeather. Originally it came up with Vox, but I'm really bad at Vox, I discovered, so we are going to be doing Blackfeather instead here. Now, before we get into the meat of Blackfeather's skills and strategies, Blackfeather's perk is Heartthrob. With each basic attack or ability hit, he lands a Heartthrob stack on his opponents denoted by a heart. This gives extra crystal damage per basic attack and stacks with his Faint of Heart A, which we will be getting into in a little bit. So, I hope you guys all enjoy this video. I hope I edit it well. I added a few things per request from the last video. So, let's get right into it, and I hope you guys all enjoy. Blackfeather's first skill is Faint of Heart. He lunges to the target in basic attacks, and if you have full Heartthrob stacks on your enemy, it deals bonus damage for missing health. This ability can proc all sorts of things like Tension Bow, Aftershock, Alternating Current, and is essentially Blackfeather's signature move, his bread and butter. You'll want to use this to gap close, chase down targets, anything of this sort. Blackfeather's second skill is On Point. This shoots a little weird ray of energy thing out from his sword in a straight line, and if you hit any enemies with it, it will deal damage and give Blackfeather a barrier for a short time. This barrier scales with your level, your bonus health. It does crystal damage and also has a small weapon ratio. Blackfeather's ultimate is Rose Offensive. He dashes, cutting through his enemies and applying all sorts of basic attack effects that you have equipped. He also gains fortified health and is immune to negative effects. This is Blackfeather's, this is even more bread and butter than Blackfeather's Faint of Heart, as we will get into once we look at some gameplay in this video. Blackfeather is an assassin, and this is evidenced by the fact that he has 2 dashes and a slow on his skill chart. Blackfeather's incredibly sticky, and he's just incredible at sticking to his target and just making sure that you do not escape him, as you can see here as I execute Vox and escape Catherine at the same time. So let's get into some real gameplay clips and show you how Blackfeather works. A team fight is brewing in this first clip. Catherine and Samuel walk into our bush, and I dodge out of Oblivion with my Rose Offensive, as you can see right there by that blocked text. As I jump onto Samuel, he loses health quickly, as I have a Serpent's Mask, and that means that my, at 8 minutes at least, that means that my Rose Offensive does quite a bit of damage. So, as we're in this freeze frame, you can see that I blocked Oblivion with my Rose Offensive. This is very crucial for Blackfeather, as you have to be quick dodging CC with your Rose Offensive. Lyra picks up the kill on Samuel, and we are left going on to Vox. I'm a little bit too far away to use Faint of Heart, but I activate my boots and get the execute. This next clip is a longer one, but it's a completely solo triple kill. As you can see right here, I jump out of the bush and hit Samuel with my Faint of Heart. Let's freeze it right here because you can see that Catherine has wasted her stun onto Saw, who is hitting the gold mine. This just leaves me free to wreak havoc on Samuel and Vox, who is in that minion mine bush. As you can see here, my Rose Offensive destroys Samuel. He misses me with the silence because I used Rose Offensive. Now I'm on Vox, hit him with my barrier, lose no health, and grab the execute. Now we're going on to Catherine as she tries to escape with her bubble. We're going to slow her down with On Point. Rose Offensive to close the gap right there. Now, I made a mistake here. It doesn't end up killing me, but I used Rose Offensive too early, as Catherine is going to be able to stun me as I come out of my ultimate dash. But in the end, we are going to chase Catherine under the turret and grab the triple kill while keeping our lives intact. So let's see, as it unfreezes here, Catherine stuns me, I hit her with a huge execute, and one basic attack does the job. Cruel bears down from inside the bush to kill Lyra right here. Now let's freeze frame this right here. This one should be an easy one. If I was going to ask you guys the question, how would you kill Cruel? If you guys answered On Point, you would be correct. Blackfeather's On Point is the perfect ranged opportunity for just that little bit more damage you need to kill a fleeing target. We kill Cruel right there, and it's over. Saw and Finn have somehow gotten a rotation ahead of us as we come out through the jungle. Now I cut it right there because I got a text message from somebody and I didn't want you to see their name. So as you can see, Finn is getting his quibble ready. I am about to Rose Offensive dash, and it's going to do a lot of damage because they are both right there. They're in the middle of Lyra's Imperial Sigil, and Rose Offensive is just going to kill both of them. This just goes to show how effective Rose Offensive is at, at dealing damage to multiple targets. If you can stack your breaking point and then use Rose Offensive, you are golden. Later in the game, same situation. Finn is actually going to go for the hook on me here as I am activating my on point. So what's going to happen here is Saw is going to have a full power Blackfeather coming straight at him and nowhere to go just because his teammate Finn decided to hook me. And I'm also going to have my barrier up, which is just an added bonus. So let's see what happens here. Now we just go straight into Saw, hit him with the execute. One Rose Offensive is all we need. Now, as we just go on to Finn, just check out some of the mechanical skills that I have on Blackfeather. You need to be good at melee, stutter stepping, and the like to be able to use Blackfeather to his best ability. What would you do in this situation? Would you freak out and run away? Because that's exactly what I am going to do here. Cruel's sword hits me straight from out of the bush. Finn's hook is bearing down. But luckily I'm Blackfeather, and that means I have Rose Offensive. So let's see what we can do in this fight to create distance from Cruel. So I use my Rose Offensive to get away from Cruel and slow him down with on point here. Now I have created enough distance from Cruel that he gets distracted and goes on to Lyra instead. This leaves me free to roam about the fight and not worry about Spectral Smite. Lyra portals and we go through and lets us get right back onto Cruel as he's fighting against Lyra. So Cruel goes down, and now we're going on to Finn and Saw. Saw is fully spun up, and he's going to be doing quite a bit of damage if I can't land my barrier. So let's land our barrier and see how this fight goes. We land the barrier and get the execute on Finn because he's on low health, kill him before his fountain hits, and now we have a breaking point. So Saw goes down in about 3 shots because of breaking point. In this last clip, we're sieging the base. Cruel is going to throw out a Errant from Hell's Heart, and I am right in its path on the boomerang. Now, for most other heroes, this would mean certain death and a very long stun, but not for Blackfeather. I'm going to completely dodge this with Rose Offensive, and it's going to keep me safe from Cruel and alive. So that is going to be it, guys, for this gameplay section, the gameplay analysis section. Now we're going to be going over some counters, some drafting strategies, and just some general other strategy type things with Blackfeather. So let's review some strategies that we can use with Blackfeather on the Halcyon Fold. So first of all, you're gonna have to use your on point to bulk up your health, get your barrier, and defend yourself against the inevitable damage that comes just from being an assassin. Blackfeather has no way to sneak around, so you're always going to be coming almost straight from the front. On point will always help with that if you can land it. Secondly, use Rose Offensive to dodge dangerous CC like Oblivion, Blast Tremor, Quibble, slow things like that. Also, if there is no dangerous CC, you can use it to quickly stack your breaking point, because it hits multiple targets. And lastly, you are going to want to avoid early fighting completely. You will die. Blackfeather is terrible early game. Avoid all fighting in the early game, period. Now, this was requested from the last video, so I wanted to bring you guys some draft strategies. So we're going to go over some specific heroes that counter and help Blackfeather. First off, this lady Lyra right here is your worst nightmare. You do not ever want to pick Blackfeather into Lyra. Lyra, her Bright Bulwark cancels out 2 out of 3 of your abilities. This is just awful for Blackfeather. You never want to go into a Lyra as Blackfeather, just ever. Next, let's talk about Finn. Finn is an easy win if you're going up against him as Blackfeather. All of his kit composes of very slow, very damaging but very predictable and easy to dodge CC. This makes it very easy for Blackfeather to zip around with Rose Offensive and just completely negate most of Finn's skill kit. Alright, let's talk about Skye. Skye is a good matchup for Blackfeather. So, Skye's skills are Forward Barrage, Surrey Strike, and Death from Above. Blackfeather's Rose Offensive can completely negate all of these if you use it right. You can use your on point straight into the Forward Barrage, use Feint of Heart to dodge out of her Death from Above. You can just dodge so many of Skye's skills, and just negate the effects with Blackfeather's kit. It's a very good matchup. Rose Offensive, as I said before, negates like everything Sky has if you use it right. So Sky is a very good matchup for Blackfeather, and if he works in the match and you see a Sky on the other side, go for him. A good Taka is going to rip you to shreds in the early game, and his Kaiten and X-Retu make it very hard to land your on-point barrier. It's very, very, very risky to play Blackfeather into a Taka, especially a good Taka, so I would always hold off on drafting him if you see a Taka on the other side. Arden's signature Gauntlet Wall is completely useless against a Blackfeather thanks to Rose Offensive. Also, since the overdrive on Faint of Heart makes you and your allies unslowable, Gauntlet, or the slow applied to you if you're near Vanguard, does nothing as well. This makes Blackfeather a very favorable matchup as Arden because he has no skills that can stop you from getting to the carry. While Vainglory's favorite Baby Dragon can be a very dangerous early game bully for Blackfeather, as you scale into the late game, Blackfeather can easily dodge out and just completely nullify Scarf's fireballs. This makes him a very good matchup if you can get through the early game. You'll need some skill to lane, or you'll need to be playing jungle for this one. Lastly, let's talk Rhyme. Rhyme is not someone we see so much in this current patch, but he is a horrible matchup for Blackfeather. In fact, he's just a horrible matchup for any melee hero in general. While you can use your Rose Offensive to dodge away from his Winter Spires and his Valkyrie ultimate, Rhyme will ultimately win just because of just the fortified health he gains and how amazing he is at just nullifying a melee carry's movement skills. So don't pick Blackfeather into Rhyme unless you want to have a very bad time. So since I can't do all the heroes, that is going to do it for this guide, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it and found it very useful. Leave a like if you did, comment if you really loved it. So thanks all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.